Scientology and Scientologists are not revolutionists, they are evolutionists. They do not stand for overthrow, they stand for the improvement of what we have. Scientology is not political. When the fires of ideology threaten to consume us all, it is time to forget policies and seek reasons. The mission of Scientology is not conquest, it is civilization. It is a war upon stupidity, the stupidity which leads us towards the last war of all. To a Scientologist, the real barbarism of Earth is stupidity. Only in the black muck of ignorance can the irrational conflicts of ideologies germinate. Government to a Scientologist is a thing of reason, and all problems of government can be resolved by reasons. Perhaps in yesterday one could afford the explanation of ignorance for the sake of chance gain. Perhaps in yesterday the study of the mind and reason was something for a summer afternoon. Perhaps in that same yesterday, though one amongst us could afford his irresponsibility and hate. But that was yesterday. Today, exploited ignorance, a dilemma towards existing knowledge, a refusal to assume one's role as a responsible member of the human race may be punished in searing thunderclap of H-bombs released by men who intelligence and statecraft were incapable of a better solution. Ignorant people elect ignorant rulers, and only ignorant rulers lead to war, and this time will lead to a war which will bring silence forever to Earth. As your associates, their homes, their children, their possessions, and all their furniture lie ending in radioactive streets, there wouldn't be time for us to wish we've worked harder, been less easy been less easier discouraged from presenting our arguments. The copies of this book you did not distribute will lie there too. Some say they have no fear of death until the middle of their dying is at hand. The midnight of their dying is at hand. Then they say different. Those who strike at this work out of some black well of ideology sorry, I keep pausing because I'm coughing. Some black well of ideological misorientation, some antisocial craveness strike at the heart of man. For man has been a long time on the track to reason, and Scientology can take him there. There is not much earth time. We must work. The criminal is ignorant and stupid. Ignorance and stupidity may therefore be called criminal. Cause man to lie aside his hates and listen. Freedom from ignorance is at hand. Perhaps that was the kingdom of heaven. There is not much earth time in which to distribute this knowledge. This is the solution to our barbarism, out of which we would lose all. Scientology works. We must work, all of us, not to haggle man towards impossible freedoms, but to make man civilized enough to be worthy of his freedom. It is time man grew up. That is what we have in mind. For those can be weeping in the night when ignorant factisms, hatred, and exploitation are served by the most ferocious and and final weapons of all, the H-bomb. Change no man's religion, change no man's politics, interrupt the sovereignty of no nations. Instead, teach man to use what he has and what he knows to be factual creation with any political reference of civilization on earth for the first time, and so we work. So there you go. That was the prefix of this book. I just felt like reading, trying to read out loud. I have a little bit of like some kind of cold or something. I kept feeling like I was gonna cough, and I didn't want to cough on video, but I still did a couple of times, and there was a couple of words that I had a hard time with, and I'm man enough to admit that. I'm not the strongest reader ever, but I can read. So I just gotta. So, anyways, bye bye. I guess. No, let me show the cover again. I just started reading it. I got through the other book just recently, which there's a lot of stuff in it I didn't understand, but I still read all of it. So, anyways, goodbye.